Now let's talk about accumulating results with an example factorial. So say you are waiting in a line with 5 other people. How many ways are there to arrange the 6 people? The answer is 720, and it is the factorial of 6, abbreviated as 6 exclamation mark. So factorial is defined as n factorial is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 all the way to 1. So with this, the solution of 6 factorial is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that is 720. So how we could write a program to do this? Let's write the program in pseudocode first. The first thing we need to do is we need to input number to take factorial of n. So we input n first, then we initialize the accumulator variable, and then we loop until the final result is reached. And in each loop we can update the value of accumulator variable, and then finally we can output the factorial. So before we write the program, let's talk about the range function. To loop through a set of specified numbers, we can use the range function. So the range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 by default and incrementing the number by 1 as also by default, and ending at a specified number. So here's an example. Range 5 will loop through 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 0 is by default the start value, and an increment is also by default 1. However, notice that we don't reach 5, we count up to 5. So how is range works? Range, I actually have 3 different ways we can use. First, if we say range 10, and I'm going to put this in a list function so we get all the values out. So range 10 starts from 0 all the way to 9. The range can also take 2 values. In that case, we have a start value and an end value. So in that case, the start value is no longer default 0. So here's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And range can take one more argument. So in that case, is 2. And 2 is the steps now. Now we're going to start from 5 all the way to 10, incrementing by 2. So here 5, 7, and 9. So let's see this in Python shell, and then we're going to do our factorial example. So here I'm going to run the Python shell, then I'm going to see what the range function does. So with the help of the list function, I can say range 5. It will start from 0. Basically it will generate a list of values 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I pass a different value, say 10, it will go up to 10. And if I use another argument, say start from 5 to 10, it starts from 5. So the first value is always inclusive, and the second value is exclusive. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I can also say start from 5, go all the way to say 21, and increment by 2. So 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. Again, notice that 21 is not included. So what else we could do? We can change the increment. Let's go by 5. So 5, 10, 15, and 20. So with the range, you can actually do negative increment as well. So in that case, the first value must be greater than the second value, basically. So let's start from 20, go all the way to 10. So again, 20, again, the first one is always inclusive, 20, 19, 18, all the way to 11, not including 10. So I'm going to do one more example, and this one, let's say we want to go from 6 to 0. and then the increment is -1. Here we go. Those are the set of numbers: 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then this is also, if I want to calculate the factorial n, these are all the values that I need to multiply, right? So let's write our program. So I'm going to save this as fact.py. I'm going to copy and paste this line of code. So the file is, so you want to make sure the file name is always up there so you can help us to know what program, what file we're working on. All right, so def main. Then I can input n, say eval input. Then I can ask user to enter n. I can also say n must be a positive whole number. So user knows what to enter, right? Enter n, a positive whole number. Now we have n. Now I need to define a accumulator variable. So I'm going to call this fact. For multiplication, I need to make sure I set it to 1. And then now I need to create a for loop. Then in the for loop I can say for, we can say I in range. I need to start from n, as we saw in this example. I need to go all the way down to 0, and I need to increment by -1. So then I will say fact is equal to fact times I. So this is, the fact is my accumulator variable. So I'm gonna write a comment line here. I'm gonna say variable, accumulator variable. So when we're done with the for loop, I can print the result. I can say print the factorial of n is fact. Let's call main here. Alright, so this is ready, so we can go ahead and test this. Let me exit from the Python shell first, that I can clear the screen. Then I can say Python 3 fact.py. I need to enter n, let's say 6, and the result is 720. So we can run again. We can say 10. What is 10 factorial? And 10 factorial is a huge number. What is 2 factorial? 2 factorial is 2. What is 1 factorial? Is 1. And what is 0 factorial? Is also 1. The factor of 0 is 1.